Okay. Now only it's starting. I thought
Ah,
after you give permission, I thought it would automatically start. But now only it's
okay, okay.
starting.
Okay. Anand Swami, if you can give a quick brief of what Devari had covered till now, it will be useful for others who
Sure.
listen to the recording.
Sure. We looked at Bhagavan trying to reclaim the fallen souls by giving them a proper body and then giving them shastras. The attempt was little successful but not fully successful. Then Bhagavan descends as different avatars and to perform various pastimes and to attract the living beings. Still, there was little success. Some thought it was too lofty, these avatars, and some thought they're too familiar, they're yet another human. So Bhagavan decided to reclaim the humans through humans by empowering specific humans, and these specially empowered souls are the Alvars, and they are given causeless mercy in the form of knowledge matured into devotion. And the Alvars are these chosen humans, specially empowered by the Lord. And they are immersed in spiritual topics related to Bhagavan, his Divya Desams, and all of that. And that's why they got the name as Alvars. And among them, the first three, Mudal Azhwargal, they came first, in the sense they appeared first, and they laid the foundation by giving various pasurams, Mudal Tiruvandadi, Irandam Tiruvandadi, and Moonram Tiruvandadi. And because they appeared before the others and they set the foundation, they are known as Mudal Azhwargal. Now we look at some of the beautiful aspects of Mudal Azhwargal. Pranamam is considered the beginning in the Vedas. Just like that, similarly, Mudal Azhwargal, because of their glories, they are considered to be the beginning. They were born during the intersection or the Sandhi of Dwapara Yuga and Kali Yuga. As I mentioned earlier, they laid the foundation for the Divya Prabandhams in the great Dravida Bhasha, which is Tamil. So Manavala Mamunigal in Upadesa Ratnamalai, he glorifies and he also documents the birth and the appearance place of all the Alvas and other Acharyas. So in that, Aipasil Onam, Avitam, Sadayam Ivai, Oppilavan Nalgal, Ulagatir, Epavim Pesugal, Poyar, Bodatar, Peyarvar. So because of their appearance in consecutive days, Onam, Avitam, and Sadayam, Mudal Alvargal are born in these consecutive days, and that's why the days themselves the birth stars become glorious. These three Alvars, they focused on Emberman's Paratvam. As we all know, Bhagavan has various features in terms of being present in the Vaikuntha Lokam, Paratvam, then in the form of Archa avatars, then in the form of Para Vibhava. So the four expansions, then in the Sweta Dvipam, and also in as Archa avatar. So, of course, Mudal Alvas wrote poems on Archa avatarams as well. They glorified Trivikrama avataram, and they also, as I mentioned, they glorified many other Archa avatarams as well.
Swami, can you
Harshit,
brief what is Paratvam? Can you brief it? What is exact reference of Paratvam?
Paratvam is the existence of the Lord in Nitya Vibhuti, in the Vaikuntham, as per my understanding. his greatness in the spiritual, in Vaikuntha Loka.
Paratvam is omnipresent, Swami. Everywhere. He's there everywhere.
Oh, is it? Okay. Sorry.
Please proceed, Swami.
Okay. After having looked at their glories, how other Alvars also have praised Mudal Alvar. So let's look at that. Nammalvar has glorified in various instances the Mudal Alvars as Pale Tamilar, the ones who recite or ones who write sweet pasurams glorifying Bhagavan. In Kavi Padum Parama Kavigal. This is another reference, and where, as the word indicates, in Kavi. So Kavi is the poetical form that is also very, in a very sweet way. And Parama Kavigal, these are the prominent poets. Senjur Kavigal, the poets who wrote beautiful, perfect poems. These explanations are given by Nambillai in his commentary. So having looked at collectively, let's zoom in and look at each of the Alvars specifically. First is Poigai Alvar. His Thirunakshatram is Aipasi Thiruvonam. Even though, excuse me, they were bestowed upon this Mayarvara Madinalam, this causeless knowledge and devotion, they still got then Acharyan in the form of Sene Mudaliyar, as we know in the Guru Parampara sequence. Poigai Alvar's work is Mudal Tiruvandadi. The first verse is Vayyam Thagaliya Varkadale Nayyaga. So later on we'll look at how these pasarams were sung. So this just gives a quick overview of their Alvar's Nakshatram, Trirunakshatram and their work. Adiyan is fortunate enough to be in Kanchipuram, where the appearance of the Alvar is there. And this is the Yadotthagari temple, the pond near Yadotthagari temple. And here in this picture, you can actually see the Sannadhi of Poigai Alvar at the back, and Yadotthagari Perumal along with Sri Devi and Bhumi Devi, where he is being served by his wonderful, loving Bhagavatas. Having looked at Poigai Alvar, we will move on to look at Bhudathalvar. His Thirunakshatram is Aipasi Avittam, and his Acharyan is also Sene Mudaliyar. And Bhudathalvar composed Irandam Tiruvandadi, which begins with this famous verse, Anbe Thagaliya Arvame Nayyaga. This is the first pasuram. With Bhudathalvar, Adiyan got clarified from the name was a bit intriguing. So I got the clarification from Swamigal that the word Bhuta, the root word Bhuta is actually referring to sustenance or the mere existence. So the Alvar's existence is based on his remembrance of the Supreme Bhagavan. So that's how he got the name Bhudathalvar. Bhu Sattaya. Yes, Sattaya is that existence. The root word means existence. So the Alvar's existence is his remembrance of Bhagavan and his glories and his pastimes. So that's how he got the name Bhudatharva. So the Avatar Sthalam of Bhudatharva is Thirukadal Mallai. Is born in a pond near Thirukadal Mallai, Sthala Sayana Perumal. Another point which I forgot to mention is these three Mudal Alvars are also called as Ayojinargal, means they are not born as a natural humans, but they appear in various water bodies. So we saw Poigai Alvar appearing in a Poigai, in a pond, and here also we see Bhudatharva born in a pond near Thirukadal Mallai. Place. This is Sthala Sayana Perumal along with Sri Devi and Bhumi Devi. Having looked at Peyarvar and Bhudatharva, we look at Peyarvar. His Tirunakshatram is Aipasi Sadayam, and his Acharyan is Sene Mudaliyar, and his work is Mundram Tiruvandadi. Which begins with Tirukanden Ponmeni Kanden.
Excuse me, Swami, like what is Tirunakshetram, Aipasi and Sadhyam? It's a Tamil word, right? What it is in English or another language, Telugu?
Sadayam.
And
Sadayam
Aipasi.
in Aipasi is the month and Sadayam is a star. So Aipasi is a month, and in that month, Alvars are born on 3 consecutive Tirunakshatram. Aipasi, Onam, Tiruvonam, Avittam, and Sadayam. These are the nakshatras. So Aipasi is the month.
Okay, and Sandhyam
I
is
don't know
Nakshatra.
sorry.
Arian. David can note down the questions. We'll come discuss it post the session for me,
Sure.
so that the continuity is there. Please.
Sure.
Then we can.
Okay. So we
Continue,
looked at the work, then Tirunakshatram of the Mudal Azhwargal. So let's look at the interesting meeting of these 3 Alvars. So this is the Avatar Sthalam. It is in Mylapore, Tirumailai. This is the actual well. So Adikesava Perumal temple in Tirumailai, Mylapore in Chennai. So this is Adikesava Perumal with Sri Devi Bhumi Devi Tayar with the Alvars. So we'll move into this section of meeting of Mudal Azhwargal. This is also organized by Bhagavan. So he inspired all 3 Alvars to visit Tirukkovalur. So they all went to Tirukkovalur, and it was a night and it was raining, and everybody was looking for a place to rest. So Poigai Alvar arrives there first, and he finds a place to escape the rain. And the place was big enough for one person to recline. So he goes inside and then he reclines there. Next comes Bhudatharva. Bhudatharva also enters the same place, and then he inquires if he can also share the same place. So Poigai Alvar replies that if one can recline, 2 can sit. So with that broad-mindedness, Poigiyarvar invites Bhudatarvar in. And finally, Peyarvar also arrives at the same spot and he also wants to share the space. So these two Arvars, being magnanimous, they come to the conclusion that if two can sit down, then three can stand. So this pastime shows that the Arvars don't think like normal materialistic people, where people want to stay away from others. So they are accommodative, and that's why they invite others. And in this place, they don't talk about anything else, but they discuss about Bhagavan's glories. Bhagavat Vishayam was the only topic of discussion. So as they were discussing, Bhagavan also wanted to be with these three Arvas. So he, in that pitch dark night, in this dark hut, he also enters the hut along with Mahalakshmi. So these three Alvas realize that the place is getting too crowded. There is a fourth person among them and they are not able to see. And that's when they decide to light a lamp. So Poigai Alvar, that's the Lord standing, entering them, but not visible to them. Now, Poigai Alvar lights the lamp with this pasuram. Vayyam Tagaliyai Varkadale Nayyaga Vayya Kadiron Vilakkaga Seyya Sudarariyan Adike Sutineen Solmalai Idarari Ning Guna Ningugave Indru.
Ningugave Indru.
Idarari Ningugave Indru. So this is a famous Mudal Tiruvandadi Pasaram, and that's how the Pasaram came into existence. So this is the scenario in which the Pasaram was sung. Poigai Alvar lights the lamp of knowledge. Then Bhudatarvar lights the lamp of devotion. Anbe Tagaliyai Arvame Neyyaga Inburugu Sindai Idu Tiriya Nanburugi Jnana Chudar Vilakketineen Naranarku Jnana Tamil Purinda Nan. So now that the place is lit, Peyarvar is able to see the Lord in their presence. In their midst, he is able to actually see the Lord. So he is able to see the divine couple standing there because of the bright lamps lit by other Arvas. So he sings the third Tiruvandadi, which is Tirukandeen, Ponmeni Kandeen. So the effort, because of the effulgence of the lamps lit by Poigai Alvar and Bhudatarvar, Peyarvar is able to actually see the Lord, and he sings the third Tiruvandadi, Mundram Tiruvandadi, Tirukandeen, Ponmeni Kandeen, Tigalam Arukan Ani Nindramum Kandeen, Serukkilarum Ponnari Kandeen, Purisangam Kai Kandeen, Ennari Vannan Paul Indru. So Peyarvar first sees Thiru, which is Sri Mahalakshmi, Thiru Kandeen, Ponmeni Kandeen, and he sees the form of the Lord along with his conch and chakra. So thus we saw the glories of Mudal Alvars, and we also saw their glorious meeting, how they are glorified by other Alvars, and how Bhagavan himself wants to be in their presence, and we saw the beautiful pastime of their meeting in Tirukkovalur. With this, I conclude. if there are any corrections, anything that I've said wrong, or if you have any other comments, I'm welcome.
Very well presented. There was no points which missed out. The birth of Advars, why they are called Mudal Advars, and their beautiful, excellent meeting at Tirukovalur, and how Yemberman wanted to be with the Advars. Very well explained, along with slides. Adiyan would request Devari to share the slides to Adiyan, and Adiyan will share in the group also. Now,
Definitely.
Mantraratnam Swami had some queries.
Swami, like one thing here, like coming to the months in the Tamil, just can you give a number for the Tirunakshatram for the Mudal? Because I don't know the Tamil, I'm a non-Tamil speaker. So for me, just tell me the number of in which month they were born, so that I can just compare it with Overwatch.
Like,
Swami,
I'm sorry, Devari wants the month and name number, is it?
Yes.
Chittare, Vaigasi, Ani, Adi, Avani, Puratasi, Aipasi.
Aipasi comes at around October, November.
7th October, 7th. It is the 7th Tamil month, Swami.
Okay, so like usually, like I just give an example. In Telugu, we have Chaitram, Vaishakam, Jeshtam. These called in the months. So in the same way, these are the Tamil months
The
names,
Tamil
right?
months.
Exactly.
Yes, Swami.
Yeah,
They are called Chittare, Vaigasi, Ani, Adi, Avani, Puratasi, Aipasi, Kartike, Margari, Thai, Masi, Panguni. These are 12 months in Tamil. And the Tamil month starts somewhere by middle of April and ends by middle of April next year.
Okay.
In the English month.
Okay.
Similarly, we have 27 Tirunakshatrams, which also will be there in Telugu. It will have history. Aswini, Bharani, Krittigi, Rohini, Mrigasham, Tiruvadari, Punarvasu, Pushyam, Ailyam, Makam, Puram, Uttiram, Astam, Chitri, Swati, Visakam, Manushan, Kettai, Moolam, Puradam, Uttiradam, Tiruvonam, Avittam, Salayam, Purattadi, Uttratadi, Revati. These are the 27 stars. So these Advars were born in the month of Aipasi, but they were born on 3 consecutive days. Tiruvonam, Avittam, Sadayam. These are 3 birth stars which are very continuous. Tiruvonam first comes, Avittam, Sadayam. These Advars were born on one on Tiruvonam, next on Avittam, third is on Sadayam.
Yep. Thank you.
Any other queries, Swami?
Swami, just a point. I'm not sure because Swami mentioned he's following the Telugu calendar. I think there's a difference in the starting, right? Telugu calendar follows lunar and Tamil calendar follows solar. So the start is different, yeah? Yeah.
In Tamil, it starts in the month of April. Telugu starts about a month or 3 weeks earlier. Somewhere by middle month,
2 to 3 months, 3 weeks of difference.
No, 2-3 weeks before. Yes. Telugu New Year's Day comes, it is Yugadi, 2-3 weeks before the Tamil New Year. Because Yugadi is the function on that day, the almanac is read in the temples for the next Tamil year. Any further questions or queries or feedback? Very well presented, Swami. Anantha Swami, very well presented. Next, we are going to see Divya Prabandha. As we all know, there are 6 Podhu thaniyans. Podhu thaniyans are the common thaniyans which are recited before reciting any Divya Prabandham. For example, if we want to recite Perumal Tirumuli on any Punavasu day, first we have to recite the Podhu thaniyan, Tirupallandu, and then Perumal Tirumuli. So, Podhu thaniyan is common thaniyan. Normally, there are 5 thaniyans, but for those who follow or followers of Vanamamalai Math, we have additional 1 more thaniyan. So, we'll have 6 thaniyans here, as our Swami is from Vanamamalai Math, Sardi Swami. So, we'll have 6 thaniyans, and we'll see the simple meaning and basic meanings of the first 3 thaniyans by Sri Rangarajan Swami. Rangarajan Swami, there it can start from.
Alvarembarmanarjiyaradirullation, Namasmadacharyendirullation, Namasmadkrupyo Namaha. The Poduttaniyan are 5 in common in general, and because we are related to the Kovil.R that is related to Vanamamade Mutt, we have the 6th Thaniyan. I was not sure which order to take, so I took the order that was there in the first document, the scripts document. So I'll start with Sri Shailesha, then Ramanuja Dayabatram, and then LakshmiNarayanan. So these are the 3 Thaniyans that I will be covering. So let's start with the first Thaniyan. Sri Shailesha Dayabhatram Deepakthyadigunarnamam Yatintra Pravanam Mande Ramyaja Matram Munik. So this Thaniyan is very special. It was sung, or it was composed by none other than Nambarmal himself in the glory of Manavala Mamunihal. So let's see why this had to happen and what is so special about this. So when Nambarmal came back to Srirangam after his exile due to the due to the Mughal issues and all that, Swami Manavala Mamunihal also comes to Srirangam, and Nambarmal asks Swami Manavala Mamunihal to have a Tiruvayamozhi Kalakshepam, and for almost a year, all the utsavams in Srirangam were banned, and a continuous Tiruvayamozhi Kalakshepam went on for almost 10 months. So once the Kalakshepam was over, on Ani Tirumulam, Nambarmal, disguised as a small boy, recited this Thaniyan, or sang this Thaniyan in the praise of Manavala Mamunihal. And the simple, straightforward meaning is Sri Shailesha Dayabatram, which means very dear to Tirumalai Alvar. Tirumalai Alvar is the Acharyan of Manavala Mamunihal, or he is also called as Tiruvayamozhi Pillai. Yatintra Pravan Sri Shailesha Dayabatram Dibaktyadi Gunarnabam. So a person who is an ocean of devotion and knowledge. Yatintra Pravanam Vande, a person who is very attached to Swami Ramanuja. Vande Ramyaja Matram. I worship Azhwargal Manavala Mamunihal is what is the word-to-word translation for the Thaniyan. If we consider the overall meaning, it says, I worship Swami Manavala Mamunihal, or Azhwargal Manavala Mamunihal, who's the recipient of Tirumalai Alvar's mercy, who is an ocean of auspicious qualities such as knowledge and devotion, and who is greatly attached to Swami Ramanuja. This is the overall meaning. So once this Thaniyan was given, Nambarmal also ordered that this Thaniyan has to be sung at the very beginning in every temple. In every Sri Vaishnava temple, this Thaniyan has to be sung first. And also the Satumarai also starts with this Thaniyan, is what he has ordered, and this is what is being followed throughout. Also, there is something special here. Nambarmal could have had a Thaniyan for many, or Perumal himself could have had a Thaniyan for many of his gurus. He had taken many avatars, he had multiple gurus. But all those gurus tried to acquire Perumal from their side. They did different penances and they tried to acquire Perumal as their Shishya. But here, Perumal himself came forward and acquired Manavala Mamunihal as his Acharyan. So that is what makes this Thaniyan and this situation very special. Also, there are lots of in-depth meanings to this particular Thaniyan, but let me just try to give a very brief one. So, Tiruvayamozhi Pillai, who was Manavala Mamunihal's Acharyan, he was very fond of Manavala Mamunihal, and Manavala Mamunihal was very fond of his Acharyan. And so the first word, Sri Shailesha Dayabatram, clearly depicts their relationship. And Manawal Mamnihal was obviously a very knowledgeable and devoted person who has established so many things for our Sampradaya. Okay. And just like how Nammalwar is called Krishna Bhakti, or Nammalwar is a pure form of Krishna Bhakti, similarly, Manawal is also a pure form of Ramanuja Bhakti. So that's the reason he is also called that. That's the reason of the last line that says Yatintra Pravanam Vande. So this is the overall meaning of this Thaniyan. For the second Thaniyan, I would be covering the Ponadikalji's Thaniyan. That is Ramyaja Matra Yogindra Padareka Mayam Sada Tathayatatna Saptadim Ramanuja Munimbaje. This Thaniyan was composed by the Dayangar Appai in the glory of Ponadikalji. Ponadikalji was the Shishya of Swamy Manawala Mamunihal. He is also called Unnamchiyar, and he was just like how we just talked about Manawala Mamunihal as a Ramanuja Bhakti. Similarly, for Ponadikalji, Manawala Mamunihal was everything. Whatever Manawala Mamunihal wanted to do, he would get it done for him. So this is so the direct translation of it. This is, I worship Vanamamalejiyar, who is the imprint of Manawala Mamnihal's lotus feet, who fully depends on Manawala Mamnihal to establish the true nature of his activities and sustenance. And one such great activity that Swami Ponadikalji had done was the formation of Vanamamalai, which is spread across India and which continues to establish Sri Vaishnava Sampradaya. There are not many more in-depth meanings for this Thaniyan. So I will move on to the third Thaniyan. LakshmiNarayanan Samarambham Natayamana Madhyamam Asmadacharya Varyantam Vande Guru Paramparam. So this Thaniyan was composed by Kuratalvan in the glory of our Guru Parampara. So when Kuratalvan had recited this Thaniyan, when he says Asmadacharya Varyantam, he means his own Acharyan, that is Swami Ramanuja. So why Kuratalvan had recited this Thaniyan? This is to ensure members the Guru Parampara every day, and also everybody is enlightened to attain towards their Guru Parampara and attain moksham at the end. So we must, this Thaniyan ensures that we are all grateful to our Guru Parampara. So when we talk about the meaning, it says LakshmiNarayanan Samarambham. It beautifully starts with the lotus feet of LakshmiNarayanan. Natha Yamuna Madhyama. In between the two acharyas who brought us this knowledge, the lost knowledge after the Alvars, Natha Muni and Aravanda were the acharyas who brought this knowledge further to us, and ending with Swami Ramanujan. So when we recite this Thaniyan, we should consider Asmadacharyan as our own Acharyan. So all the Acharyans starting from Ramanuja till our own Acharyan also should be considered when we are reciting this Thaniyan. At the same time, Pillalokam Jiyar also gave a parallel Thaniyan to this, which should be considered by all of us because it is more detailed. So it says Asmad Guru Samarambham Yadishekar Madhyamam Lakshmi Valla Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. So it is the opposite direction where it starts with our Acharyan, with Swami Ramanuja in the middle, and LakshmiNarayanan at the end. So this way, everybody starting from Perumal till our Acharyan is being covered, is being remembered in the Guru Paramparai, and we are grateful to each of our Acharyan in the Guru Paramparai. Again, that is my time. Thank you.
It was very wonderful presentation, Swami. Reciting or keep chanting our Guru Parampara and Dvayam is considered as very, very important basic requirement for a Sri Vaishnava. So we need to recite Guru Paramparai Thaniyam as and when possible, any number of times during the day, which is very, very critical. So this is the Guru Paramparai important. And it don't start with Lakshmi of Sri Varati Periyan. It ends with our Acharya, Aswath Acharya. This is our Samashan Acharya. We need to be very distinct to our Acharya also. Very nicely presented, Swami. Anybody else want to add anything? Okay. Then we can move to the third topic, which is the Rahasya Granthakal. These basically Rahasya Granthakal is taught are to only those who have undergone Samashayana, which is a basic requirement for listening to Rahasya Grantha Kalachepangal. In the Rahasya Grantha Kalachepangal, what we are required to learn is Mumukshupadi. So, whomsoever wishes to present Mumukshupadi in this group to have undergone Samashayana, which is a basic requirement. And those who are listening also should have that. But even if they have not done that as of now, they should be able to do it in the near future. Originally, Mumukshupadi Avatharigai was to be presented by Kandala Ravi Swamy, but since in the last minute the Swami could not do, had to go out on some official work. Namperumal Swami has kindly accepted to present today. Request Namperumal Swami to present the same. Adiyan
Ramanujadasan. Adiyan Namaskarams to all the adiyars here. Bhagavatas. First of all, kindly excuse Adiyan English. Adiyan is not that much fluent. Adiyan will try the best to present. Okay, Adiyan divided the Mumukshupadi Avatarika into 3 parts mainly. That is Acharya Vaibhavam, the author Vaibhavam, and then next Grantha Vaibhavam, and also next the content. So we'll first go through the Acharya Vaibhavam, that is the author of the Mumukshupadi. It's Pillai Lokacharya. So we'll see the biography of his. Pillai Lokacharya, born in Sri Rangam, he is son of Vadakku Tiruvidi Pillai, who is the disciple of Nam Pillai. So Adiyan will give a brief introduction to Vadakku Tiruvidi Pillai also, because today is his Thirunakshatram. He is disciple of Nam Pillai. Firstly, he is very sincere in the devotion and all. So he was not engaged in the materialistic living, that is samsaram. So on the command of his Acharya Nampillai, he indulged in the samsaram, and for Satsantanam, he got 2 children. One is Pillai Lokacharya, who is our author, and next one is Alagiya Manavala Perumala Nayanar. So on the Anugraham of Nampillai, it is considered that Pillai Lokacharya was born, and on the Anugraham of Nam Perumal, the second son was born. Both of them were raised in Sri Rangam under different abled acharyas. So they vowed to be like Naistika Brahmacharis. They were not married. And coming to the Pillai Lokacharya, the other, he is the one presented us with 18 Rahasya Grandhams. In that, which is the Mumukshupadi. Now we are going to see its Avatharigai. So, and also Pillai Lokacharya at the end of his life, that is in his old age, he protected Namperumal from the Mughals attack. Swami done numerous services to the Sampradayam. It's Grandhams and also the Koil Kainkaryams. Yeah, this is about Pillai Lokacharya. Now, Adiyan will go to Manavalla Mamanigal. We are going to read his commentary only regarding this Mumukshupadi. So, just a second, Adiyan prepared a note. Adiyan will try to look into it. Yeah. Swami Manavalla Mamanigal, he is born in Alvar Tirunagari. His name also Alagiya Manavalla Perumal Nayanar. Okay, yeah. Swami actually born in Alvar Tirunagari and went to some other places, and he returned to Alvar Tirunagari where he met his Acharya, Iruvaimoli Pillai, who is disciple of Pillai Lokacharya. So, on the order of his Acharya, he is doing Kainkaryam in Emberumanar Sannidhi, that is Bhavishyat Acharya Sannidhi in Alvar Tirunagari. So, yeah. So he is going like that, that Kainkaryam in Alvar Tirunagari, and also later on his life, he is doing that Kainkaryams and all. So Manavalla Mamunigal come to Sri Rangam, where on the commands of Nambermal, like Sri Ranganatha, he took the sannyas ashramam and he established temple norms according to Emperumanar's views. So this is it. This is about the other Vaibhavam. Now Adiyan will go to Rahasyatrayam. What's this Grandham about basically? So in Sri Vaishnava Sampradayam, Pancha Samskaram, which is the procedure to that a Jivatma can get into Sampradayam, where he can understand the relationship between Jivatma and Paramatma. So, okay, now Pancha Samskaram, it is Tapa, Pundra, Nama, Mantra, Yajna. Tapa basically, it is the heating of Shankha Chakras and its mudras on our shoulders, and Tirumantram. Okay, 1 minute. The order is Pundram. It is actually the Acharya will apply Tilak, that is lotus feet of Perumal and Sri Mahalakshmi, Sri Churnam. Then Namam, Adiyan Ramanujadasan, that Dasya Namam will be given. Then Mantram, Rahasyatrayam. This is the topic of our Mumukshupadi. So next Yajnam, which is basically Tiruvaradhanam, which we do to our Gruha Perumal. Now Adiyan will try to say about this Rahasyatrayam, basically the common info, which is in our Sampradayam, generally it is said it is Vedam, which is the ultimate source for us. From that only we are doing everything, like the Aradhana, beat anything. This Vedam and also at the same time Divya Prabandham, which is another eye to our Sampradayam. From the starting itself, there are commentaries for be it Brahma Sutrams, Sri Bhashyam. So these commentaries are very helpful for us to learn the in-depth meanings which our Acharyas, Purvacharyas try to establish. Now coming to the Vedam, it is Apaurshayi. And also, as it is the highest authority, there are certain rules and regulations which have to be followed by the persons who wants to indulge in that study of Vedam. That is Varna, rituals, and also its depth in the content. And also as in the Vedam, it is just not about our intelligence, it is also about our body. That is certain gender only can do that. So this is a side, and there is another one which is our Divya Prabandham, also we can consider it as Rahasyatrayam. This is also there from the time immemorial. Yes. Okay. This Rahasyatrayam is Swarupam. Let me give a small info before that Rahasyatrayam also, which is Swarupam, Upayam, Purushartham, Tattvahita Purushartham. This is what? This is only essence of Vedas and also our Divya Prabandham. What is this Swarupam, Upayam, Purushartham? Swarupam. It is the relation between the Jivatma and Paramatma. Upayam means to reach Paramatma. And also Purushartham, the goal. The end goal is Nitya Kainkaryam. For this, the Vedam is saying, and also our Divya Prabandham also saying. Now coming to the Rahasyatrayam. Oh, Adiyan will disclose that. It is Tirumantram, Dvayamantram, Charamashlokam. All this was said by Emperuman only to different persons in different places. First is Tirumantram. It is between Narayana Rishi in Badrika Ashramam. Next is Dvayamantram, which revealed in Sri Vaikuntham to Sri Mahalakshmi. And third one is Charamashlokam, which revealed to Arjuna in the battlefield of Kurukshetra. So, for this Avatharigai, now Adiyan will come into the Avatharigai as in the lecture of Swamis. So, what is the purpose of this Mumukshupadi or this Rahasyatrayam, this entire thing? Now we'll see in a larger picture. LakshmiNarayanan, Bhagavan. There are endless names to his. The main one, which says that Shriyapati, whoever is the husband of the Sri Mahalakshmi, he is only the Bhagavan. That is what Sri Suktam says. So this Shriyapati is happily served by Nitya Suris in Sri Vaikuntham. So now in this Sri Vaikuntham, we have to see some genres, like it is Nitya Suris who are always present in Sri Vaikuntham, who never left that place, and also Mukta Atmas who are also serving Perumal, but they went Sri Vaikuntham from here, the Samsara. Like they took also birth and they went. And also now Jivatmas, we can also say Baddhatmas. Seeing this, Nitya Suris and Muktatmas are always serving Emperuman. Emperuman seeing the Jivatmas who are in the Samsara felt very sad, and he felt very sad for the Jivatmas, so he revealed this Rahasyatrayam or the Vedam, anything. He proposed this to get the attention of the Jivatmas who are in the Samsara. It is through the creation and sustenance and annihilation. So, why to create? It is one of the biggest questions Adiyan used to have. So, through Sharira Madhyam Kalu Dharma Sadhanam, with body only we can do anything like Dharma, or to engage in any karma we need body. For that, Perumal's causeless mercy is the creation. From creating, simple creation will do nothing. So Perumal given the rules and regulations, that is nothing but our Vedam, Shastram. Perumal quoted like in Smriti and Smriti, which are his direct words. So this is the basic for the, like, in this rules and regulations we will understand why we have to engage in this Rahasyatrayam. Also, one more thing Adiyan wants to highlight is that for Vedam, as Adiyan earlier told, there are certain rules, but for this Rahasyatrayam, anyone, whoever got the desire to reach Perumal, That is the qualification. Any Jivatma can do that. So, yeah. Now, coming to the Mumukshupadi, as earlier we told, Pillai Lokacharya written 18 Rahasya Grandhams. Why this Mumukshupadi? Actually, Pillai Lokacharya written some 3 other Grandhams before this, which are Adruchakapadi, Parandapadi, and Shriyapatipadi. So, the 3 are having some sort of shortcomings. Adruchakapadi, which is too short. So, like Swamy told, it's just a single pace. And also Parandapadi, this is too elaborative. We can't read all those. And Shriyapatipadi, many references from the Shastrams in Sanskrit. So, with causeless mercy and to give all us the perfect thing, respect, in essence, Pillai Lokacharya written this Mumukshupadi, which is not too short, neither elaborative, and also with simple Sanskrit. Adian also heard that it is in Manipravalam. Adian was not sure, as Swamy not told, but Adian heard from another Acharya. It is Manipravalam, which is combination of Sanskrit and Tamil, so it can be easily understood with free flowing. In brief, Adian will just give a summary of this just Mumukshupadi Avatharigai. Perumal, seeing these Jivatmas, he felt sad and he started creation. For that creation rules and regulation, he established the Vedam. At the same time, our alvars also came and given Divya Prabandham, which are basically our rules and regulations, and also for us to get liberated from this samsaram. Next, this Vedam is having certain rules and regulations which are not for everyone. So, Perumal's Rahasyatrayam, which is for everyone. This Rahasyatrayam, Tirumandram, Vayamandram, Charma Shlokam, which our Acharya will say in our ears during Pancha Samskaram. So, through this, we can get liberated. But for that mantram, we know, but what are the explanation and how the Shastram said and how our Purvacharyas were done. So, for that, only this Mumukshupadi by Pillai Lokacharya Swamy was given. Adian would like to conclude. Adian, thanks me for this opportunity. Kindly forgive Adian paradams, and also please highlight any points Adian missed. Adian Ramanujan.
Adian Swami, Adian, they were prepared and presented very well. Very important points have been presented well. The only qualification to listen to this Mumukshupadi is that we should have undergone Samashayana. And not only that, this any Rahasya Granthams, the main difference, normally we have 2 terms. One is Kalakshepam and one is Upanyasam. Many may not know the difference between a Kalakshepam and Upanyasam. Upanyasam is basically the Upanyasagar will come and present whatever Swami has learned and from his knowledge. Whereas Kalakshepam is based on a Grantham. He will keep a book and he will read out and explain word by word in the Grantham. That is Kalakshepam. This Mumukshupadi is a Grantha Kalakshepam. One has to listen with the Kalakshepam, with the Grantham in hand, with word by word. Another important thing is Mumukshupadi, unlike Divya Prabandham, which is in a quiet form, this is more in a prose form. So it is like a continuous comment. So that's the main difference, or the basic information about this Mumukshupadi. We can listen to the simple meanings, but it is always better to undergo or seek the blessings of an Acharya, from an Acharya, learn it as a Grantha Kalakshepam. Very well presented, Swami. But though they took up the job a couple of days back, 1 week, David has done a very wonderful job. Anybody wanting to add anything? Can you please do so?
One point that struck me from the presentation and also the way Swami presented, it was nice. The point about how Vedas had a lot of restrictions, whereas the Rahasyatrayam doesn't have restriction, encourages everybody to take this up, even those who can't read Vedas, but they can still get the benefit of the essence of the Vedas. So, point which Swami was making during the lecture, Saradi Swami was making the lecture, was that Vedas would deal with body and the soul. That's why the restrictions are there. Whereas Rahasyatrayam is a matter for the Atma. Therefore, there is no restriction. So everybody can take it up and get benefited. So I just wanted to add that.
Again,
Anything else?
has a question.
Yes,
Sorry.
please.
Yeah, I recall listening to Sarji Swami's Kalashivam online, and mentioned something like the Mumukshupadi Sutram is like really an explanation of the Tirumandram, and then from that Dvayam, and further explanation is the Charma Slokam. Something along that line. So I'd just like to clarify, that's the flow.
Yes. The first 115 sutrams are Tirumandram, explanation of Tirumandram, and then about 50 slokas for Dvayam, and then another around 50 to 70 sutras for the Sarva Sloka. When we go deep into it, each sutram by sutram, we will easily understand how Tirumandra Prakanam is written. It starts from sutram number 1, Tirumandra Prakanam will start. Tomorrow, when Swami Seshadri Swami is going to present, Swami will start with Tirumandra Prakanam. Tirumandram only. If there are no questions or any further discussion, we can close the session for the day. Thank you for joining. Please do join tomorrow at 3 o'clock. And tomorrow the presenters are for Tiruvashayalvar, it is Yasav Swami, and Thaniyan 4 to 6, Deepan Swami, and Mumukshupadi Sutram 1 and 2, Seshadri Swami. Adiyan, Srimati Ramanujaya Namaha. Alvar Acharya, Emperumana, Jiya Tiruvadigle Charanam, Acharyan Tiruvadigle Charanam.